My name is Jack, and I am 36 years old. I work for a construction company as a project manager, and until recently I thought I was doing well. I loved my job, had the respect of my coworkers, and thought I had a strong family with Emily. We had been married for 6 years. We met at a company party. She worked in our company's accounting department. Beautiful, intelligent, and with a great sense of humor. I fell in love with her immediately. 6 months later, we got married, bought an apartment on credit, and made plans for the future. I thought I knew her as well as I knew myself. That all changed last fall. That day I was late at work. I had to finish a project report right away. I decided to surprise Emily and pick her up. She was often late for work. I went up to her floor. The office was almost empty. Only the duty light was on. I heard some sounds coming from one of the back rooms. What I saw shattered my world. Emily was there with our security guard, Paul. I won't describe the scene. I'm still nauseous from the memories. I just turned around and walked away. Emily caught up with me at the elevator, trying to explain that it was a mistake. I silently packed my things and moved in with my friend. The divorce went quickly. I didn't want scandals and division of property. I just wanted it to be over. But inside me burned resentment and a desire for revenge. I could not forgive not so much the fact of cheating, but the way it happened, in the back room with the guard. It was humiliating, as if everything we had built together had been undone in an instant. A month later, our mutual friend got married. I knew Emily would be there, but I decided to go. I couldn't hide forever. At the wedding, I met her younger sister, Rachel. We hadn't socialized before. She was studying in another city, and we'd only seen each other a few times at family gatherings. Rachel was the complete opposite of Emily, open, sincere, without that wary look in her eyes. She was genuinely kind, and there was something refreshing about her presence. We started communicating, just texting at first. She supported me, listened to me, and then we started meeting at cafes, walking around the city. With her, I relearned to trust people. It was easy and calm around her. She made me laugh, and I looked forward to our conversations. One night she stayed over at my place, in my rented apartment. We talked about everything, drank wine, and everything just happened naturally. In the morning, I felt guilty and strangely satisfied. I knew Emily would find out about it. Word traveled fast in our town. A week later, Emily called me and accused me of betrayal. I listened to her in silence, and when she was done, I simply asked, "And you thought you were the only one who could do that?" and hung up the phone. I remember the silence that followed, the emptiness that seemed to echo around me. I felt a sense of victory in that moment, but it was fleeting. Now, as time passed, I realized that revenge brought me no relief. Yes, for a moment I felt satisfaction, but then it got worse. I used a good person, Rachel, for revenge. She didn't deserve it. We stopped talking. She figured it out and just disappeared from my life. I didn't even have the courage to go up to her and apologize. Now I live alone. I changed jobs, trying to start over, hoping the new environment will help me heal. Occasionally I run into Emily in town. We exchange a few words and go our separate ways. There's no warmth or anger, just an empty acknowledgement of what once was. I no longer feel hatred or desire for revenge, only fatigue and a kind of emptiness. It's strange how something that once filled your entire world can turn into a distant memory, leaving behind only a sense of loss. You know, they say revenge is a dish best served cold, but what no one tells you is that it leaves a bitter taste that lingers for a long time. The satisfaction I was hoping for turned into regret that slowly ate away at me. I realize now that it would have been better to just let the situation go and move on. But back then, in that moment, I just couldn't. I think about Rachel often and wonder how she's doing. I hope she has found her happiness, someone who can appreciate her as a wonderful person. She deserves so much better than to be a pawn in my misguided quest for revenge. I'd like to tell her how sorry I am, but I doubt she wants to hear it from me. The truth is that I hurt her as much as Emily hurt me, and that realization is something I'll have to live with. I'm trying to focus on rebuilding my life by finding small joys in everyday things, work, hobbies, random encounters with friends. It's not much, but it's a start. There are days when the loneliness seems insurmountable, when I can't help but think about all the mistakes I've made. But I remind myself that I can't change the past. All I can do is learn from it and try to be better in the future. I started going to therapy, hoping to understand myself better and let go of the anger and pain that was holding me back. It's a slow process, but I feel like I'm making progress. I want to be able to look at myself in the mirror and not feel ashamed of the choices I've made. I want to find peace, even if it takes a long time. Sometimes I see couples walking hand in hand, laughing together, and I am overcome with longing. I wonder if I will ever have that kind of person again. Someone I can share my life with. Someone I can trust, and who can trust me in return. I know it's possible. But I also know that I need to do a lot of work on myself before I'm ready for that kind of relationship. For now, I'm taking things one day at a time, trying to let go of the past and focus on the future, however uncertain it may be.